what's up everyone? This is Nick. Today I'm going to be talking to you about a Phoebe Bridger song called Kyoto. So Phoebe Bridger is a really cool artist and a songwriter. Earlier in 2020 she released an album called Punisher, and very recently she released an album called Copycat Killer. And what's cool about Copycat Killer, it's an EP that has 4 songs from Punisher, but now it has the composer and arranger Rob Moose, who arranged a sort of string quartet behind Phoebe Bridger's. So unlike her album, which is super produced and has a bunch of different instruments, it's just Phoebe and a string quartet, and there's some really cool harmony within that string quartet. Today we're going to be looking at a song called Kyoto, and we're basically going to kind of compare and contrast and see what Rob Moose did with the harmony. If you'd like to hear a solo guitar performance of this song, click subscribe, turn on notifications. I'm going to be releasing a video this Thursday of me playing a solo guitar arrangement of Kyoto. So let's get into it. So in the original, there's kind of 3 main sections. For one, there's this one horn line that goes kind of like this. And then we have sort of the verse and the chorus. So first off, this song is in the key of B major. The original song stays kind of within B major for the most part. In the original version, the verse only has 2 chords. It just alternates between B major and E major. And it just kind of repeats that a few times. Now what Rob Moose did is that he basically kind of stretched out the chord progression and he included a couple really cool things. So in Rob Moose's version, he starts off in B major as well. And then he goes to G sharp minor. And then he goes to F sharp, kind of dominant sound or like sus sound. And then back to E major. So there he kind of goes and does the original chord. So basically what he did there was kind of extrapolated that, and he's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna take this space and now I'm gonna put in a few chords in between. So then there's the E major chord. And then they go to C sharp minor. So what's interesting about that is that C minor is a 2 chord, and functionally we learn in classical harmony, or the harmonic style of the 18th century European musician, E major, which is a 4 chord, and C sharp minor, which is the 2 chord, are both subdominant chords, meaning that they can be interchangeable. Another way to look at it is that E major is E, G sharp, and B, and C minor is C sharp, E, G sharp. So the only difference is that one has a B, and the other one has a C sharp. So then for the third part of the verse, they go back to B major. And then they go to the flat 7 chord, they go to A major. Now the way that I define this is by where it's going next. So after it goes to A major, it goes to A flat minor. So the A major is acting as a tritone substitution of the secondary dominant to A flat minor. So a secondary dominant is essentially a chord that leads to another chord that's not necessarily the tonic chord. In other words, it's any dominant chord that leads into a chord that's not B. So we're going to G sharp minor or A flat minor. The secondary dominant would be D sharp 7. So what a tritone substitution is when you take the root and you move it a tritone away. So instead of D sharp, we get A. It's also a cool way to lead by half step into the next chord. So the next chord we have is G sharp or A flat minor. And then it goes down to G major. So G major is 2 things. One, it leads nicely to the next chord, which is F sharp sus. Because it leads down by half step. It's the same principle that got us A major to G sharp major. Now we have G major to G flat or F sharp sus. But within the key, G major is the flat 6 of B major. Now another thing that's doing is borrowing from what's called parallel minor. It's borrowing from G minor, and it's using the 6th chord of B minor. So then we have this F sharp sus, and then we have this sort of C sharp 7 over F. So basically it's taking this structure and it's lowering the bottom note to an F natural, because the next chord is E major. So now in the Punisher version, the chords are C sharp minor, then it's E major, and then B major, and then F sharp major. The first note of the melody that she sings is an A sharp. So over C sharp minor, the A sharp is kind of a weird note. It's the natural 6. It's a really cool upper extension on the chord. But in the Copycat Killer version, it becomes the sharp 11 of E major. So in the Copycat Killer, it goes to E major, and then it goes to A flat minor, and then we have another F sharp sus. So it goes between those 3 chords for a little bit. And then it goes to E flat minor, which works out really well because it goes B, A sharp, and A sharp is a fifth of E flat minor or D sharp minor. And then it moves back up to E major when the melody note hits a G sharp, because that's the third of an E major chord. And then back to A flat minor, and then F sharp minor. And then they do something pretty interesting. So it goes C sharp minor, D sharp minor, and then E major. And then back to B major. And then to A major, because the melody note is a C sharp, which is the third of A major. And it also leads down a half step to A flat minor, which is the next chord. So then for that little riff, A flat minor, and then D sharp minor, which leads nicely to E major, goes up a half step, and then back to B major, and then C sharp sus, D sharp minor, E major. So that's my little analysis of Phoebe Bridger's Kyoto. It's a super killing song. Definitely go check out the record. Rob Moose did a phenomenal job of arranging the strings, and I hope you've enjoyed this short lesson. If you're interested in hearing an analysis of any other songs off of the Copycat Killer, please leave a comment down below. And as always, please leave a comment if you have any questions. So thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, all that stuff, and take care.